Hey y'all, it's Ayanna. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my socials listed in the description box below at _ring_bells. Now y'all, the reason I be telling y'all to follow me is because I be doing polls and stuff on my Instagram just in terms of like what type of content y'all want to see, other types of video ideas and stuff. So follow me on Instagram because that's why I be posting the polls. And y'all, I think I want to start, like I said, I'm going to start doing story times on TikTok only because like it's this one incident that just recently happened, but I feel like it's too short to sit here and do a whole YouTube video on it. So I'm going to post it on my TikTok. So again, go follow me on there. And one more thing before we get started. So I have decided that I'm going to start doing tell-all Tuesdays, and that's going to be starting next Tuesday. So hopefully I get this one posted Tuesday night, and then I'm going to start those next Tuesday. So I listed my email in the description box below too, and I'm going to list it somewhere here on the screen. And that's the email you can send, story times to, because I know y'all got tea. I know y'all got story times too, and I be wanting to know stuff. So yeah, I'm going to list it, like I said, somewhere here. Now, without further ado, based on the title, this is a story time about my college roommates horror story. But y'all, I don't really know what I'm going to title this yet because yeah, but anyway, let's get started. All right, y'all, so y'all already know, gotta give y'all the background, gotta set the scene. So this story takes place like right after I graduated, going into my freshman year of college. Now y'all, I was, like I said, obviously going into college, I was a freshman. Now I think I want to say I got accepted maybe around March, May or something like that. So the school that I got accepted to, they had started doing did Facebook groups where you can find roommates. So freshman dorms at the school I went to, they mainly had like 3 to a room for freshmen. Y'all, if you know, you know. It was 3 of us to a room, y'all. It could have been a jail cell. Like, I swear the rooms were so damn tight. But anyway, they had created this platform or whatever for, like I said, for us to go into like this portal or whatever and be able to, meet people, see what interests you have with people, everything like that, to potentially find roommates instead of them randomly assigning it, right? So y'all, I want to say this had to be around like June or whatever, right? I get on, I'm logging in, I'm excited, I'm getting all my little lists together for school, going shopping with my parents, getting everything ready. But at this time, like I said, I didn't know who my roommates were going to be, and I didn't want to get randomly assigned. So I go on there, I go through the Facebook group or whatever. So you got people up there saying, let's say for example, I'm 18, my favorite genre of movie is scary movies, I like to go hiking, I like fishing, I plan on taking, like, my major is this, I plan on taking 8 a.m. classes, things like that, just general information about yourself. So that way, low-key, y'all, it's like giving dating site, like Bumble BFF in a way, just in terms of like you matching up with people based on your interests to get to a common, you gotta get what I'm saying. So I'm on there, I'm scrolling through, and then I come across this one girl, and what are we gonna name her? We're gonna name her Monica. Not her name, nothing close to her name, but we're gonna name her Monica. So y'all, I come across Monica. She had posted like on her profile, I think it was like, what she said, like she was like, yeah, I'm 18, I'm from South Jersey. She was really into dance. I think she was like a dance major or something. And she was like, she was black. What else? Because y'all, I don't really remember that much about her. She was really into Disney movies. Remember that. So she was like into Disney movies. So, like regular. Like she was like, I like to go out. I like to have a good time. I'm, like I said, she already said what she was majoring in. Like, she likes to go shopping, traveling, little stuff like that. Like I said, giving dating profile. So I had commented on like hers, and I had like, I forgot what I said to her, but I was just like, hey girl, blah, 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 blah. She messages me. We start talking. I'm telling her about myself. I was majoring in psychology. I'm like, also black, obviously, as she can tell from my profile. And, like to go out, like to mingle, like to have fun, like to travel, all the stuff that she kind of sort of said. So we had something in common, right? So we get to talking. So she was like, oh, have you come across, anybody else that you you liked or whatever, because we do need a third roommate. Like, are you cool with us? Because like, y'all, you're not even going based off of, it's literally like they didn't give us that much time, because you had to, I think they only gave us until, like, honestly, y'all, if I'm being honest, I really want to say they gave us until like the beginning of July to have roommate situations down. You had to log back into the portal, submit like your roommate request with the people's names and everything, and then they would go from there. And then I think after a while they'll tell you like where you're going to be living and everything like that. They didn't give us that much time. So she's asking me like, have you come across anybody else that you were like interested in, making a roommate? So I was just like, no, what about you? And she was like, no, not really. And I think y'all, like I said, at this time, it had to be like May-ish or whatever. So we probably only had like maybe 2-3 weeks left to find somebody. So I'm like, okay, no worries, we'll find somebody. So we just been messages back and forth, talking about being excited for school, things that she wants to do, things that she wants to get into, having freedom, all the stuff that college kids, get excited about. So I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 days later, I'm back on there. I'm scrolling through and I come across another girl. We're going to name her, Lorax. And y'all, I don't care. I don't care if it's shady or not, whatever. We're going to name her Lorax because her eyebrows were so damn thick and bushy that it just always reminded me of the Lorax. So that's going to be her name for the story. You got Monica and you got Lorax. So Lorax, she posts on there, like she has a profile and she's like, yeah, I forgot what she was majoring in. I want to say it was like childhood education or something like that. So she was like, yeah, I'm majoring in this. Also, she liked Disney movies. Keep that in mind. So she liked to go out, go to parties. Like I said, y'all, common interests across the board. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Like favorite color, type of foods that you like I said, types of favorite movies you like, what you like to do for fun, little stuff like that. So I ended up hitting her up too, same situation, get to talking. She was like, oh, hey, da-da-da. And then I basically put Monica and Lorax in a group chat together. Y'all, at this point, we talking, we all decide like, okay, yeah, this is going to be, our group. We're going to be roommates. So we go into the portal, we submit the roommate request. Boom, I want to say a week later, they say, thanks for, putting your request in. This is where you're going to be living. Boom. Now we got our dorm, designations, whatever you want to call it, assignments, dorm assignments. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking it up online. Y'all already know how it go. You getting ready for school. Like I said, doing all my shopping, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to move-in day. Yo. So Monica, like I said, she lived in South Jersey, like literally, y'all, not even maybe 20 minutes away from the school. And what's her face? Lorax, she lived in like North Jersey. I'm from Central Jersey. Central Jersey is a thing, by the way, because some people are like, oh, it's just North and South Jersey. Central Jersey is a thing. So anyway, like I said, North, South, North, Central, South. So I'm like, okay, we move in. I think Lorax had got there first, so she was like doing everything. So y'all, gotta give y'all the scene of like how this little small ass room was. So my dorm, it was like in a building. I want to say it had maybe like 6 floors maybe, and on each floor it was like boys, girls, and then they had, I want to say, 1 bathroom on each floor. They had like 3 shower stalls, like 4 sinks, and like 4 bathroom stalls, and the entire floor of girls had to share this bathroom, y'all. And I don't even know, I want to say, like I said, it was like 2 to 3 of us to a room. So, and it had to be like at least 5 rooms on that floor, because we had 1, 2, 3. I want to say it had to be like maybe 6, 7 rooms on that floor alone, with all of the girls sharing that 1 bathroom, y'all. Yeah, I know. So, whatever, come up, it's hot, y'all. It's the summertime. Moving day was like the middle to end of August, because it was like 2 weeks before school was actually starting after Labor Day, whatever. So it's hot, it's muggy, it's humid, it's nasty. You get up to the room, y'all, and like I said, we get up to the room, get to the hallway, you come through the door, and I'm trying to really remember it. Yeah, I walked a little bit down the hallway. Boom, my room was like sort of kind of in the middle, a little bit across from the bathroom, but like not really. Now I go in, the room is like packed because both of them had got there before me. Cause you know what they say, if you get there first, you know, you get first dibs, I guess, on everything. Yeah. So go into the room. To the right, you got 2 bunk beds, and then you got the middle of the floor. And when I say middle of the floor, y'all, I mean like the middle of the floor. And then to the left, you had like 1 closet. Do we have 1 or 2? Nope, we had 1 big closet, and it had like pull-out drawers, and you had a desk, and then we had like a wall. Like it was just a wall right there, whatever. And then in the corner, you had our refrigerator, microwave, and then in that corner, you had like a little cutout nook, and then you had another bed on top. Monica got there first, so she claimed the little desk cutout drawing, the whatever, the little desk cutout thing with the her loft, her bed on the top. So Lorax got there, she took the bottom bunk, so I was stuck with the top bunk. Y'all, wasn't sweating it. So I get inside, right? So I'm looking around, you know, we meeting everybody. So I moved in. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my mom's line sisters from when she, you know, from her sorority. And they were like advisors at the school. So they all came, helped me move in. When I got there, like I said, Lorax was there with her 2 parents and her little sister. Y'all, we walk in immediately, like all we hear is, I got it. Like, leave me alone. Y'all, why is she yelling at her mom? So my mother looks at me, because y'all know black parents. My mom looking at me like, what the hell? Why is she talking to her mother? Mommy, this is my first time meeting her, just like it is yours. In person, at least. So she, you know, yelling at her mom. So then her mom turns to her. She's like, oh, hi, how are you? You know, I'm Lorax's mom, such and such. So my mom, my dad, you know, everybody's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. What's her face? Monica was there, and it was just her and her mom. So I guess she had pretty much got there like maybe at least 2 hours early, so she could really get moved in and out the way, I guess. So when we came, we all weren't bumping into each other. So we get in, and then you know, we all saying hi, everybody's meeting each other, whatever. Monica and her mom decided that they were going to leave out because they were like, you know, it's too crowded, you know, y'all need, you know, space and stuff to get y'all stuff set up. So they end up leaving. Lorax had pretty much sort of kind of got her stuff set up. Like, she was probably like midway point. So it was just kind of awkward. So because, like I said, she's on the bottom bunk, so my stuff is on the top. I'm trying to get stuff set up. So I'm looking, y'all, right? Like, remember when I told y'all, it's 1 closet to the left. And then I think we had another, she had like, remember I said she had her cutout, it had a dresser. So pretty much all of Monica's stuff was over there. She had her desk, she had her bed, she had a dresser with a little 2 drawers or something. And then, yeah. So me and Lorax pretty much had the closet with, and I think we had another storage, y'all. I think when I say that wall that was right there, I want to say that was like a dresser with like 3 big drawers in it too, because we had more storage than that. So I go in and I'm looking, she got all her stuff in the entire closet and in the drawer, on the dresser or whatever, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, Lorax, is this all your stuff? And she was like, oh yeah, girl, I just have so much stuff. And I was like, yeah, but you're gonna have to move some of it because I need to move in. Like, I don't have no room. And y'all, I swear, it's like when I think back to it, it really was giving Bad Girls Club. Y'all know how like when you move in and then the girls used to be like, oh, this is my bed, oh, this is mine. Like, oh, I called this, so I called that. And it's just like, have some consideration. You knew that it was 3 of us moving into a room together. Why would you not leave no storage space? So she was like, oh, I'm sorry. So her mom is like, oh, you know, Lorax, clean out the closet. And she was like, no, like, I'll leave my stuff in the closet and then I'll just clean out the drawer on the other side or whatever, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, you know what, y'all? And like I said, y'all, like I said in my previous videos, back then I was a people pleaser. A little bit. We're going to get further into the story. So I was just like, you know what, it's cool. You can have the little armoire thing, and then I'll take the drawers on the side, as long as I had enough stuff, y'all. Because, like, I had a lot of sneakers and a lot of shoes, but I had, like, a storage shoe thing that I could, like, slide underneath our bed. And then all my clothes, I pretty much just folded them up. Like, you had pants, and I had all 3. So I had put, like, my underclothes in one drawer all together, then my jeans. You know, when you in college, y'all, you make it work. So, boom, we got that situated. Fast forward, you know, our parents leave and now it's just us 3. So, y'all, they gave us, I want to say, like, honestly, a week and a half. Like I said, we moved in at the end of August. So, they gave freshmen like a week and a half to get acclimated, you know, with the campus, where the student center was, where your classes were, you know, just know your surroundings, get your bearings together before classes actually start and the campus is flooded with everybody, you know, hustling and bustling. So we all just getting excited. So at this point, you know, now we go out into the hallway, we mingling, you meeting other girls on the floor. So do any of them girls really need names? I'll give them names, I guess, as we get closer, like further into the story, because I don't really want to say they need names for real. They don't. So we, you know, mingling with the girls out there, and you know, we all just kind of talking. Now, y'all, you still had other students on campus, because you got kids that had summer classes, you got kids that just moved back a little bit earlier, you got kids that had summer jobs. So campus wasn't packed, but you still had some people, right? So yeah, we go, I believe, like I said, we was talking everything, getting acclimated that night. And I want to say we moved in. That had to be like a Saturday. It was a party that night that I think somebody on the floor had found out. It was like a frat party or something. I don't really know how they were having a party when, like I said, not many people was on campus, but whatever. We was freshmen and we wanted to, you know, you want to get some action. So we was like, we about to get outside. So me, my two roommates, Lorax and Monica, and then like I want to say it was like maybe 3 or 4 other girls that we were pretty much sort of kind of ish, you know, close with or whatever. I still follow some of them on Facebook and stuff to this day. But yeah, we was cool. So y'all, we all get together, you know, we on our way out to this party. At this time, I don't even think I was pre-gaming, y'all. At this point, I was just like honestly like a little innocent little freshman moving in, just happy to be there, y'all. So we just end up just going out to go to this party. Now, y'all, where my dorm was, it's like as soon as you come downstairs, it was 2 entrances. When you went out the like more so the back entrance, it was a basketball court that was like right there. Like you look out our window and you just see niggas outside playing basketball, shirts off. Y'all know how it go. So we call ourselves, you know, walking out. We have to walk past there to get to, you know, I think we had to, and the party was off campus. So where we had to go and navigate to, we had to pass the basketball court. So y'all, we walking past the basketball court, and you know, this boy, he don't need no name. He starts, you know, trying to talk to Monica. So he's just like, oh, you know, how are you? You know, what's up? You know, da-da-da. She was like, yeah, you know, I just got here. Like, you know, it's my 3rd day. I just got out here.
Yeah, it's only my 3rd day out here. I don't know.
So he's like, oh, where y'all going? So they like, oh, we are like, oh yeah, we going to a party. And he was like, oh, okay, you know, be safe or whatever, you know, da-da-da. So they, like, you know, they made their little eye contact or whatever. So he'll come into play a little later on. So they make their little eye contact. Boom, we get to the party. We all having a good time, drinking, blah, 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 getting acclimated, right? Boom, make our way back to the room. Everything is good, y'all. Like, we go to bed. Boom, boom, everything is cool. Fast forward, I want to say everything was good, y'all. I want to say, honestly, up until, y'all, I really want to say like when classes kind of started, because for this rest of this time, we wasn't doing nothing. The group of us and like the girls on our floor, we were each other's only friends. There was nobody else really to mingle with. Classes hadn't started yet, so it wasn't even really like we was meeting other freshmen. You would go to the student center, you would meet certain people, y'all, and this is before, y'all, mind you, this is before I met Kelly, this is before Star, this is before Blondie, this is before all of that, because yeah. So we what am I trying to say? So yeah, we would be, you know, out, you know, kind of meeting other people, but not really, like, yeah. So fast forward, now it's beginning of September, classes are starting. I'm getting out in the field, y'all. Like, I'm meeting people, I'm having a good time. And when I say meeting people, like, you got classes with people. I had class with this one girl. Does she need a name? I guess we can give her a name. We'll name her Candace. We'll name her Candace. Y'all remember Candace from The Haves and the Have-Nots, the Tyler Perry show? Y'all remember Candace? What is her name in real life? Y'all was about to say Lupita Nyong'o. That is not her. I can't think of her name. Comment her name down below, y'all, if y'all know who I'm talking about. Candace from The Haves and the Have-Nots. The little, like, she was like chocolate and whatever. Like, yeah, that was what my friend gave. So I had met her in one of my classes, and then we got really, really, really close. She was also from Central Jersey. So we kind of like, our schools kind of played each other in like high school and stuff. So like, we kind of got real cool. Her roommate was cool. So I used to be going to their room a lot, hanging out with them. They never really came to my room because I just felt like my room was always just crowded, you know, like, I don't know. So like I said, into classes starting, I want to say Monica had like, she had like an 8 a.m., a 10 a.m. Like, her schedule was booked. And I don't know why you would do that as a freshman. Like, y'all, I took my time. I had one 8 a.m. class, dropped it. I couldn't do it. And then where my 8 a.m. class, it was across campus, y'all. It took me damn near 30 minutes to walk there. and my school didn't have like shuttles and buses and stuff like bigger universities did. So I dropped that class immediately. But anyway, y'all already know how it goes when one person got to get up really early, one person classes don't start till 11, one person got at 8 a.m. on a Friday, one person don't got Friday classes at all. So yeah, so y'all know, I'm in the bed one day and I'm trying to think. Like I said, yeah, I was hanging out with what did I just name her? Candace and her roommate a lot. So this particular day, like I said, this is like into September now. I'm asleep. Like I said, y'all, I'm hot up on the top bunk because y'all know heat rises. I'm up there sweltering. And Lorax is down there snoring because she used to snore like all the time. So I used to have to like try to go to sleep with headphones in. So like I said, Candace, she had an 8 a.m. I don't remember exactly what class was for, but she had an 8 a.m. She hated the 8 a.m., but she wouldn't drop the 8 a.m. and just move the timing or, you know, whatever. Because she had a little bit of downtime. Like, she could have moved it. She just chose not to. Y'all, this particular morning, she get up. I guess she got an attitude that she got to get up or whatever. Her alarm is going off. Continuously going off. I don't know why when it's your alarm, you don't hear it, but everybody else around you hears it immediately. So Lorax is like, yo, Monica, like, turn that down. Like, come on, you either need to get up or turn it off. Like, skip the class or turn it off. Either way, yeah. So she's like, oh, okay, like, let me get up. So she gets up, y'all. She's turning on all the lights, slamming drawers, doing all of this. So I get up, I'm like, are you serious? Like, why is you doing all of that? Like, girl, like, can you be quiet? Like, we still trying to sleep. Like, y'all, I don't think I had a class until like 11 o'clock. I think all my classes started between like 10 and 11, and I only had like 2 classes on each other day, and I didn't have no Friday classes, and I set up my schedule like that on purpose. So she got an attitude. I'm like, girl, and she just looked at me, like, gave me like a death look, and was just like, and then like went out, had her like shower stuff, and I guess went out so she could start getting ready. Boom, that was that. She came back in. She wasn't as loud anymore. Boom, she goes to class. Everything's fine. Fast forward to, but yeah, so, like I said, I think it was a little bit ways away because when all of this stuff hit the fan, it was like mid-October, y'all. I literally only lived with them for like a month and a half. So we, like I said, it was a little bit maybe further in, like closer to mid-September, end of September, right? I go to class. I come in and Lorax is asking me because she used my printer. Now, y'all, my parents got me a printer because I told them that I didn't want to have to go through the process of anytime I got to print out a paper or anything like that, or instructions to anything, that I always have to go to a computer lab to print it out. And then you got to, you know, request time. You got to wait in line. I wasn't trying to do all of that. I had a laptop. My printer had a Wi-Fi signal, so I could either just send the, you know, the request to the printer, or I had a cord that you could physically, you know, insert into the laptop, and then you could print it out. Easy peasy. So at this time, like when we first moved in, I was allowing them to use my printer. Like, it wasn't a big deal because I was like, you know, we all got, you know, stuff to do, and I'm being nice, you know, we all trying to help each other out. Cool. Like I said, y'all, but during this time, I wasn't hanging out with them as much anymore. Like, when weekends and stuff would come up, I was more so hanging out with Candace and her roommate. And I don't know, I just started feeling like I had more in common with them. Yeah, I had just more in common with them. Like, I was going to Philly with them on a shuttle, like a little party bus that other people would put together. And then, you know, like I said, you start getting to know people. I mean, upperclassmen, I'm going to parties. Like, they just weren't on that wave. Like, they would go out, I started noticing, but then a lot of times they just weren't going out anymore. But I didn't really care enough to, you know, ask or more so invite them, because it's like they were like this. They were like attached at the hip at one point, and it was just like, okay, because like I told y'all in the beginning, well, my other story times, I'm not a friend to one singular person. You get what I'm saying? Like, I have different friend groups. Y'all could be my roommates. I could kick it with y'all, but then I could have other friends over here. I could have y'all get what I'm saying? I got friends coming to visit me from home, whatever. So we, yeah, so I come in the room and she's like, oh, you know, can I use your printer? I'm like, oh, what you asking for? Like, y'all use it, you know, any other time. So she was like, oh yeah, you're right? Y'all, mind you, during this time, y'all, I really honestly want to say I probably used my printer like 3 times. I probably only printed out like 3 papers at this time. Like, I hadn't printed out that much, like, at all. So obviously I'm not checking the printer levels. I'm not checking the ink levels and all of that. So the way she said it, it was like, okay. I waited for her to be done. And Monica, I don't even think Monica was in the room at this point. She wasn't even there. It was just me and Lorax. So Lorax is done. She gets her stuff, and I guess she leaves to go do whatever she was going to go do. I'm in the room by myself at this point. Monica then comes in maybe like an hour later. I was just in my bed. I don't even know if I was in my bed up there, honestly, that hot ass bed. I probably was sitting at my desk or something. Monica now comes in, and she just looks shook. Like, you know how like somebody looks like so pale? It looked like she saw a ghost. So I'm like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, you okay? Like, you good? Ho, is you cool? Because what's wrong? She was like, oh, like, I want to say something. And y'all, this is all a part of the story. I'm not trying to, like I said, be shady, messy, none of that. Just gotta tell y'all what was taking place. So she's like, I want to say something, but I don't want to be judged or anything like that. And I'm like, we just got here. What would you do that I would judge you? So I'm like, well, what's wrong? Like, what happened? Y'all, this girl proceeds to say that she thinks that she has I don't know if I can say that on here, but a disease that you get from, y'all know. And I'm like, from who? Like, from who? And she was like, y'all remember old boy from the basketball court. So she was like, she was only dealing with him, blah, 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 blah. And I guess, I don't know, y'all. I guess she said that, like, she started, because I want to say, like, I don't know if they had a class together or she ended up running into him at a student center or whatever. I never really got the details on how they kind of, like, really linked up after that. I knew they had, like, fraternizing and stuff, but he never, like, came to our room and stuff. Like, they would link up and do whatever. I didn't know where that boy lived. I don't know if he was a sophomore, senior. Like, I didn't know nothing about him. But until her bringing it up again, and she was like, yeah, it was him. And I guess she was having, like, weird symptoms, like itching and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, girl, you need to go get go to somewhere, a clinic or whatever, you know, to get tested, because that's OD. And she was like, no, I just, like, she was like, maybe it's all in my head. How is you girls? If you're a girl, obviously, you know your body. You know what type of symptoms you have. You know, we know when something is wrong. Any little thing, I'm like, something seems a little off. I'm having a little discomfort. It doesn't matter. It could be a UTI, y'all, yeast infection, because we're women. We get stuff. You got a full-blown STD. There's no way. Y'all, there's no way you don't know the symptoms of you having an STD. Like, be fucking for real. So I'm like, oh, she was like, yeah, I told Lorax, and she told me that I should just let it rock or whatever, you know, go to, and y'all, like, we had like a ShopRite. Walmart was a little farther away. We had like a ShopRite. So she was telling her, like, oh, she told me, like, I should just go to ShopRite, get like the, you know, y'all, the little cranberry UTI pill. She was like, get that. Okay. I've had a UTI before, y'all. TMI, whatever. Comment down below if you, obviously. I didn't itch. I don't know. Like, and if your first mindset is to think like he gave you something, not saying that like maybe he did, but you don't know him. So my next question is like, oh, y'all ain't use protection? Like, how many times? And she was like, oh, maybe like 3 times so far, but they never used protection, not one of those times. Y'all, I'm not one to judge. Like I said, I'm not being messy, I'm not being shady, I'm not one to judge. But that's even more reason why you should go get tested, if nothing else. Like, my opinion on nothing else matters, but you should go get tested. Period. So she was like, yeah, I'm a rock out. I'm gonna just see, you know, what happens. So I was just like, okay, right? So at this time, y'all, I'm sitting there looking. So she was like, where's Lorax? I was like, I don't know. She left out. I don't know if she went to class or whatever. So she was like, okay. I don't remember what she ended up coming in and doing or whatever. So I'm looking, y'all, on my laptop, because like I said, something in the back of my head, I didn't like when Lorax said that about the printer, like, oh, can I use it? Like, when you know you've been using it, well, all of a sudden you asking now. So y'all, go on my computer, change the settings or whatever on the printer or whatever. I forgot what I did, but to look at the ink levels. Y'all, while my ink levels was less than like halfway, like more than halfway going, and y'all know how the ink levels look if y'all know printers. Like, you have like the one bar is like all black, so that's like black and white printing, like regular, and you have the color one. I think my dad had got me like the color cartridge, but he got me like 3 or so just regular cartridges for the black writing. Like I said, y'all, I've printed like 3 papers at this point. Even if I let y'all use it, why is my shit below 50%? And that I'm already having to put in another cartridge, and we just got here. Y'all didn't start getting homework and papers, if we're being honest, until like last week, for real. What is going on? So I'm looking, and I look at Monica. I'm like, yo, you been using my printer? She was like, oh, girl, no. And I'm thinking like, I don't know if she's lying or not or what. So I'm like, well, who been using it then? And she was like, oh, well, I think Lorax, she had to print something out because she couldn't get a book. I'm like, what are you talking about? And now she's trying to, like, you could tell, like, they are like this because she's not trying to throw her under the bus. So I'm like, what you mean? So she's like, well, she, y'all know we got to buy books. I think, yeah, we had to buy books, you know, back during school, whatever. You can either, like, get them on used off Amazon, get somebody to donate, whatever. But we had a syllabus of, you know, either required books or books that were, like, optional to get. She didn't want to, I guess, pay for a book. Y'all know this girl used my printer to print out, like, a 50-page book. A 50-page book that she didn't want to pay for. So she printed out each sheet using my printer. Girl, for that, you literally could have went to the lab. But I think, like, at a certain point with the lab, they used to charge you after, like, 5 or 6 or so pages. Are you crazy? That was so inconsiderate. I was just like, what? So I'm heated at this point. But I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about it. It's cool. And y'all, like I said, being a people pleaser, I don't know if y'all want to be like, oh, girl, you was being used. Whatever. It is what it is. So I don't even think I did anything about it. Like, I think I did ended up, like, I did end up saying something to her just in terms of, like, girl, you could have went to the lab. She was like, yeah, girl, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to be that many pages. Like, my bad. Like, if you want, like, I'll go buy you another cartridge or whatever. I was like, yeah. I was like, you know, once it gets lower. Y'all, I should have just told her right then and there, yeah, buy me the cartridge. But I was like, yeah, you know, once it gets lower, you know, you could just give me the bread or you could just go and buy it. She was like, yeah, you know, my bad. I'm so sorry. I dropped it. We left it alone. Fast forward now. It's a particular night, y'all. I want to say it was like a Friday night, right? It was a nice night. And like I said, at this point, it's like I said, approaching end of September at this point. It's a nice night, y'all. And I had already made plans with Candace and her roommate. We was going to a party or whatever. But at this point, y'all, now I'm pre-gaming. Now we going to each other's rooms, finding people to get us bottles. Y'all know how it go. And at this point, I tried to be nice, and I asked Lorax and Monica, I'm like, yeah, you know, me and Candace, we're going to a party tonight. You know, y'all want to go? Y'all don't really be going out no more. They're both like, one is at their computer desk. Like, Monica was like under her little cutout at her desk, and what's her face? So Lorax was like underneath. Like I said, she was on the bottom bunk. So I come in and I'm like, oh, y'all want to go out? Like, y'all want to go to a party? They're like, no, we're just going to stay in. We decided that we made plans to watch the Even Stevens movie. Y'all, no shade. I love Disney movies. I love Even Stevens movies. Lizzie McGuire movie. We all love Disney movies. It's a piece of our childhood. We're in college and we're freshmen and it's a party. And I know what y'all saying, like, Ayanna, not everybody want to go out and party, but y'all, they never went out and party. It was so weird how, like, the first 2 weeks of school before everything really got popping, y'all wanted to go out and go to frat parties and stuff, and now that school's actually here and there's something going on every other second, people would meet, niggas' faces to be in every other second. Y'all want to be in the room. Like, I don't know. So they were like, oh no, you know, we're just gonna stay in and watch the Even Stevens movie. So I was just like, oh, okay, like, whatever. I leave. I go to the party or whatever, y'all, right? Have a good time. Boom. I come back. I want to say it was playing maybe like, maybe it was like 1. It was like 1 in the morning. And y'all, unlike Monica, I'm trying to be, you know, careful. I'm still a little lit though. So I'm coming in the door. I feel like I'm making too much noise. And Lorax had her shoe rack on the back of the door. Like, y'all know the shoes that you could put each pair in like the little slots and hang it up. She had that and it crinkled because it was like hard plastic. So I'm opening the door, got my key or whatever, opening it. And I guess it was crinkling. So I don't know if it woke Monica up. I don't know if she was already up or whatever. But she was like, dang, girl, you making all of this noise. I thought she was being funny based off of what I had said to her, like, whenever I had said that to her. So I was just like, oh, girl, my bad. And as I'm walking, girl, I done tripped over Lorax's desk chair. So at this point, I turned the light on. I don't care no more because now I feel like I'm hurting myself. And there's too much stuff in the way. Because why would you have the chair in the middle, like, in the way of the door? Anyway, so I'm like, I turn the light on. So now they both get up, they irritated, and they're like, oh, like, girl, just because you want to come in here lit, like, we already took it down for the night. Okay, grandma. Like, girl, it's a Friday night. Y'all is in college, and it's always something going on. Like, why, like, even if y'all was still up watching movies or something, I can understand. Why is y'all already asleep? Like, I literally just left, like, I think I left at, like, what, 10 o'clock? And it's like I said, at this point, it was like 1. I wasn't even going for that long. And y'all already in the bed. Whatever. So they like, oh girl, just because, you know, you went out and you want to go out every weekend don't mean you got to come in here making noise. How am I making noise? Like, I was like, I'm trying to be quiet. Why would you leave the door? I was like, why would you leave the chair, you know, in the middle of the door? And I was like, I was like, yeah, it's not safe. So I had to turn the light on. Like, it is what it is. But y'all, at the same time, like, I'm mad, but I'm not mad because I was lit. So I'm still, like, laughing it off or whatever. I ain't care. I done climbed up in my little bunk, went to sleep. Boom. Fast forward. Now, at this time, like, I don't think I ever really ran that conversation back with Monica about her little situation or whatever, right? So I think, like, what happened this day? I want to say that, like, that's when Tinder, y'all, got real, like, lit. It was like Tinder was just coming out and was, like, getting, you know, popular. And Lorax was on there, I guess, on Tinder, and she runs across Basketball Boy, you know, Monica's little basketball boo. So I guess I should have just named him Quincy. I should have named him Quincy. Is that his name from Love and Basketball? Monica and Q? Yeah. So I thought that she was talking, like, him. She sees him on Tinder. So she tells Monica, she was like, oh girl, ain't this so such and such? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, whatever happened with him. She was like, oh girl, no, we don't talk. I found out, like, not too long ago that he had a girlfriend. And now I know y'all saying, like, well dang, how you ain't know? When I tell y'all, I was not really close to them. I would speak to them when I had to, because I had to live with them, but we weren't, like, really friends. Like, we was cool, but we wasn't, you know, that close. I don't want to say that cool. We just weren't that close, but we were cool enough outside of the little, you know, little girl drama and stuff every here and there, but it was nothing too serious. So she was like, no girl, I found out he had a girlfriend. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so did you ever get tested? And she was like, yeah, I actually went home. You remember that weekend? Like, and then she had went home, like, one of these weekends previous, and she was like, yeah, she got tested, and unfortunately she did have something, you know, she got it taken care of or whatever. She was good. So she's like, I haven't talked to him. That's crazy. He probably gave that to his girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. So Lorax goes, well, I'm about to follow him. Like, well, not follow him, but she was like, I'm about to swipe right and see if, like, you know, it's a match or whatever. So Monica gets mad at her, and she was like, well, why would you do that? So she was like, well, I just thought it would be funny, you know, because he's, like, obviously he's an ass. Like, he's an asshole, so why not? So she was like, okay, well, do it. And I don't know, whatever. So Lorax swipes right, and it was a match, right? He hits that girl up, like, no later than, like, 5 minutes later, right? He like, oh, what's up with you, da-da-da-da. So instead of her playing the scene, because, like you said, you wanted to have a conversation with him to see where his head was at. I don't know what you was trying to figure out. Y'all fucked, he gave you STD, and now you're not talking to him no more. Like, I don't know what there is to figure out. But he was like, she immediately jumps in y'all. She was like, oh, don't you know Monica? Monica's my roommate, and you did her dirty, right? So the both of them are standing there like little high school girls, for real, just on her phone, like, just trying to come up with, like, little responses and stuff to say. And I'm like, y'all rather sit here and do this rather than go out and have a good time and meet new people. Anyway, fast forward. Now we getting closer to, like I said, now it's, like, definitely, like, beginning of October or whatever, right? Things started getting a little shifty, I want to say. Things started getting a little shifty. So we, like I said, we also living in there. I don't know why I keep feeling like I'm stuttering, y'all, but my bad. I think I'm talking too fast. But, yeah, like I said, we're all living in there. I'm still, like, obviously I still have to use that bathroom. I still see the other girls in passing that live on the floor. So I'm still cool with them. So this one particular day, this girl that lived at the end of the hall, we could name her Mary, because, like I said, her name is not really that important. Mary decides, like, she had invited me over to her room because she was like, oh, you want to play Uno or something? I was like, yeah, sure. So it was like her and her roommate. I was cool with both of them. Like I said, two of them, I still have them on Facebook to this day. So I go down there. I'm playing Uno with them, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, oh, you know, you're never here. We never really see you anymore. You know, Monica and Lorax said... huh, what'd they say? So she was like, yeah, Monica and Lorax say, like, you're never around, and, like, you don't really spend time with us anymore, and ever since you got, you know, you hang out with, like, Candace, and, because she didn't really even know who Candace was. I don't even think she knew her name. I'm telling y'all that it was Candace. She's like, you know, since you're hanging out with your new friend, Candace, you know, you don't really be with them anymore. You be coming in lit, like, you just be, and my thing is, again, they were cool with Monica and Lorax, but we were cool. I was cool with them, too. So I guess in their eyes, they're like, oh, they're just talking, because, like, I don't think they thought it was a big deal because they didn't know that we were beefing, or, like, obviously we weren't beefing, but it's not like they thought that it was animosity. So they're thinking that they're just talking like, oh yeah, Ayanna, you know, like, they have a problem with you not being around. So saying like, oh, you never want to be around them, you be coming in lit, all you want to do is what they say, all I want to do is talk to niggas and get lit. I was a freshman in college, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I would much rather not be pinned up in a room after I just went to classes all week, walking across campus, doing homework, and you telling me when I finally got time to let my hair down and let loose and have fun, that I would rather spend a Friday and a Saturday night stuck in a room watching Disney movies. Mind y'all, it's not like we had a 55-inch in here because the room wasn't so big. I had the TV. My TV was only like, what, a 32-inch? It wasn't even that big, and we had to put it like up on top of the armoire, so it was like mad high up so I could see it because I was on the top bunk. What's the name down here? She trying to look at it like this, and then Monica could, because like I said, hers was like a loft bed. It was really awkward. So I'm like, that's what y'all want to spend y'all time in here doing, just eating snacks, getting fat, and watching. To each his own. But my thing is, if I'm not really looking at y'all crazy, and the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because y'all just tried to come for me to Mary and her roommate. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, I was like, well, it is what it is. Like, I was like, y'all even go out though. Them two, like I said, both of them, they were white girls, but they were cool as hell, and they were out almost every weekend getting lit. When I say Mary got a little too lit sometimes, like she used to get into some things, but they were even enjoying themselves. And I'm not saying that you have to go to college, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you go to college and you automatically just get drunk and not, but like I said, y'all, I was going to class. I was doing homework. I was writing papers. I had a tutor because I was not so great in math. Like, I had things going on. So again, when the weekends came around, I want to get out of that room since I have to spend so much time in there with y'all anyway. It's hot, it's humid, it's muggy, and one of y'all, if I'm not mistaken, don't really smell the best. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So as Mary and her roommate telling me this, I'm just eating it all up, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, you know, that's crazy. Like, it is what it is. Like, y'all even go out, so I'm not ever gonna apologize for coming to college and getting the experience that I want to get. And I'm not knocking them, so they shouldn't knock me. And they were like, yeah, girl, you right. Da, da, da. Left it alone. Y'all, here's when things get crazy. So fast forward a week later, I forget what happened. I don't know if I don't even know if I spent the night in my room maybe that Friday, because like I said, y'all, I didn't have Friday classes. So honestly, I don't remember where I was at or what I was on, but I didn't stay in my room like that Friday. I didn't. So by the time I had got back to my room, I think I probably was with Candace at her room or something, or doing, who knows what I was doing. Maybe I didn't go home for the weekend. But yeah, I wasn't in my room that Friday. And then I ended up coming in there Friday night, and Monica and Lorax were gone. Like, none of their stuff was there. Light was off. So I was like, okay, cool. Some hours go by and nobody's there. So I'm like, oh, they might not be coming back tonight, right? So I reach out to, what's her face? Monica. And I text her. I'm like, oh, hey, are you, like, did you leave for the weekend? No response. No text back. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I reach out to Lorax. I text her. I'm like, hey, girl, you know, are you guys, like, are you, because I didn't know they were together at this point. I'm like, are you coming back? No response. So I'm like, okay. I ain't care. I had the room to myself, so I was cool. But y'all being weird, not trying to respond back to me, like, okay, like, whatever. So y'all, I want to say it was supposed to be a storm or something coming that weekend. I think I had ordered food from like Pizza Hut or something. I stayed in. At this point, I was actually utilizing my TV up in the bed, watching movies and stuff, chilling. Mary ends up knocking on my door. She comes in. They in my room. We all watching stuff together, talking, playing cards, whatever. We swiping on apps. All of this good stuff. Just having a time. So I'm like, did they tell y'all where they was going? They was like, oh yeah, they went to Monica's for the weekend. Remember, I told y'all Monica only lived 20 minutes away. And they were like, yeah, they said that they were going down there for the weekend. They had, you know, planned it or whatever. And I was like, well, dang, that's crazy. They didn't say nothing. And y'all, I'm not mad or upset or sad or jealous that they didn't tell me. But it's like, damn, I texted y'all. And at this point, y'all, at the point that I had texted them, let's say I texted them at 8 o'clock. At this point, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Which I went to sleep watching a Disney movie again. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure by now one of y'all got my messages, whatever. So, Mary's roommate, she was a little messy, but I loved her. She was like, oh, she's like, yeah, they're at Monica's. And she shows me this. They're over there doing, like, making, like, gingerbread, like, I don't even know what they were doing. They used to just do weird stuff. But they were doing, like making, like, gingerbread cutouts or whatever. And they were, like, posting. So it's like, I know y'all both got my messages. And both of them ignored me. And I'm like, oh, it's beef? Ho, is you cool? Because what's the problem? So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna think nothing of it. It is what it is, right? So I'm like, again, y'all, I tell y'all, I like to get tea. You know, I like information. Information is power. I like information. So I'm like, did they tell y'all like it was a problem? Like they were like, oh no, they didn't say it was a problem. They just said like they, you know, they were going away because they needed a break, and you know, they were just tired of they feel like you guys aren't on the same page. And I'm like, y'all saying that everything was cool, but if they telling y'all all of this, and they're like, yeah, they just feel like you're not on the same page, you guys don't really have the same interests, you're not the same person that they thought you were when they had to agree to be your roommate on Facebook. And again, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, well, what was I doing that was so crazy, that was so, like, unfathomable for y'all to think about, that, so y'all didn't like the fact that I was outside, and y'all felt like I didn't like the fact that y'all was inside. I didn't have a problem with y'all being Debbie Downers, just being inside all the time. That's not my business. Again, your college experience is what you make of it, and mine is going to be what I make of it. I'm not doing anything, like I said, I'm trying to be considerate of y'all time, y'all stuff, and everything, so what's the issue? You get what I'm saying? So, whatever. So, y'all, night goes on. And I want to say Mary and her roommate was over there. Then another girls came down. They all in my room. We all really just in there chilling. And at this point, Monica is on Facebook. And what do you used to call it back then? Because, you know, on Twitter, you call it subtweeting. But I don't even think we was on Twitter like that. Or was I? I probably was on Twitter. It might have been Twitter. I don't know. It was one of them. But just posting, like, really subliminal stuff, y'all. Just like, oh, bitches be fake. Oh, watch is up when I get back to school. Just weird stuff like that. And I'm like, but you're not texting me back. And if there was a problem and we live together, what's the problem? Because I'll be damned if you think you coming in here with some energy and I gotta lay my head here. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not ever about to happen like that. So whatever. I continue to enjoy my weekend. Boom, they leave. I don't remember what time in the morning they done left. They all leave, go back to their rooms. I go to sleep. Next day, it's storming. I pretty much stay in the whole day. I think Candace ended up coming over, and I don't know if I like washed her hair. Like, we just had like a girls' day inside or whatever, right? So I'm filling her in on everything. So she was like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, what was she saying? She was like, I don't understand, like, what the problem is. Like, what's the issue? And I'm like, well, girl, I don't either. I was like, I know we've had our little tiffs or whatever over the last couple of months, but I feel like y'all did some weird stuff. Maybe y'all feel as though I did some weird stuff, but it was never no energy that y'all just up and decide that y'all just going to go away, and now y'all plotting on me. Because that's how it felt. Because both of them being very subliminal on Facebook. And I know y'all probably like, girl, I would have said something. I would have commented on it. For what? Y'all, I'm not the type of person that uses social media to be a spectator, like to be a spectacle for other people to look and be like, oh, what's going on with them? To be in your business. Because again, y'all, at the end of the day, I lived with them. It was just going to get too messy of a situation. Like, I just wasn't beef. But it ended up getting there anyway, so whatever. So fast forward, it's Saturday night, right? And I then put them in a group chat at this point because neither one of them had responded back to me. So I put them in a group chat and I was just like, oh, hey, is there an issue? Like, y'all got a problem? So then Monica responds back and she was like not even 10 minutes later. And she was like, no, there's no problem. Right? So I was like, then what's all this subliminal stuff on Facebook, right? No response. No response. Then the subliminal posts continue like, oh, if the shoe fits, blah, blah, blah. But why y'all not keeping that same energy? And again, y'all, I'm trying to figure out what I did. But after a while, I didn't care no more what I did because now y'all being weird. So since y'all want to be weird, two could play that game. I'm not the one to do the petty games with y'all. Like, I'm really not. Like, and then on top of that, I'm so used to having my own space. I'm used to being, I don't want to say an only child. Like I said, I have 3 older brothers, but my brothers are older than me. So I was always the baby. I was always the little girl. I didn't really have to share my toys and stuff like that. Not saying that I wouldn't, but I just didn't have like a whole bunch of siblings and little siblings and stuff like that. Like, I'm used to having my own space. You get what I'm saying? And if you put me in a situation where I feel like I got to be petty, at the end of the day, I don't know y'all. If we being honest, like, I don't know y'all. We met through a little, what's the name? Yeah, we had some conversations, and then y'all saying that I changed. I didn't say anything. Y'all said that y'all like to go out, y'all like to party. Y'all don't do any of that. And then I invite y'all don't want to do nothing. To the point, y'all, it was point times where they were staying in the room, right? In the room, don't want to do nothing. And I was going out with Mary and her roommate and other girls on the floor. I would meet them at a party if I was with Candace, or I would meet them at the student center to get food, or go to the movies that they used to have on campus. Like, I would do other stuff with them too. I wasn't just always with Candace and, you know, her roommate or whatever. They never wanted to do anything. They were like, I don't even know, like attached at the hip, but just, I don't know, just miserable ass twins. Like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, I got something for y'all. So fast forward. That Saturday night, I decided that I knew they were going to be coming back at some point on Sunday, obviously, because we got class on Monday. Bet, watch this. I decided that now y'all want to play, we gonna play. So I had peeped that Lorax had posted something on Facebook, and she was like, oh, I really got to get this paper finished before, something along the lines of like she had to get a paper finished before her class on Monday or whatever. It took her, you know, all week or something to write it. Ding! Light bulb goes off in my head like, oh girl, you think you printing that paper on my printer? Think again. You gonna take your ass to the library. Hopefully it's more than 5 pages so that you gotta pay them, because yeah. So I log in, y'all. I set a password on my printer. So now obviously when you go to send something to send to the printer, you have to put a password in. If you plug it in and you have to click on the document to print it, you have to put a password in. It didn't used to have that before, you know, it was just free range. Nope, now you got to put a passcode in. I'm not about to play with y'all. So then on top of that, I went up there and I unplugged my TV and I wrapped it up. And then I asked Mary if I could put it in her room. She's like, why are you doing all of that? I'm like, no, because I don't got to watch TV. I didn't care. I had a laptop. I watch Netflix and all of that stuff on my computer if I have to. It ain't like we had like crazy cable. We had basic channels unless you were using like a DVD to watch like certain movies. Outside of that, I ain't need it. And even if I'm not using it, y'all not going to use it either. Because the way y'all acting, I'm not going to give y'all a chance to mess up my stuff or nothing of the sorts. Like, I'm not doing that. Yeah. So, she was like, yeah, you can put it in my room. I put it in her room. I put it in the closet. So, TV's going and my printer is whatever. So, boom, I'm chilling. Same night, like I said, I think I ordered food or whatever, or maybe went to the student center with Candace, and then fast forward next day, she was like, what you gonna do? I was like, well, I'm gonna say something. I was like, because the energy is gonna be off when they come in here anyway, so I'll see if they say something, but the way they acting, y'all acting real bad girls club. Like, y'all know how they used to go out to the club and then be like, oh, when we get back to the house, we're gonna do this, we're not gonna talk to her, we're gonna give her the silent treatment. Like, just big ass kids. And then y'all think y'all gonna come in here and just not speak to me? Y'all don't got nothing that I need. Y'all don't got nothing that I want. Y'all don't live a life that I want to live. Like, there's nothing that y'all have that I would want. So, but I bet y'all want to watch them damn Disney movie DVDs on my damn TV. Bet you that's over with. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. So, what happened? Fast forward, y'all. Now we on Sunday. So, I'm on the phone with my mom or whatever, and just filling her in on everything, telling her everything. And she was like, if they come in and they start all of that crazy stuff and talking crazy at the mouth, she was like, you stand in front of that door and don't move in front of that door unless they move you from in front of that door. Y'all remember Camilla from BGC? Her mom was like, get him, Camilla, whoop that ass.
If they try to jump you,
They already tried.
you make sure that your ass go against the wall and do the windmill on your foot. Put your rings on your finger. Put your tennis shoes on too. Tell me to come down there while you be on the phone. Whoop that ass. Whoop it. Whoop it.
That was what my mom was giving, y'all. Like, she was just like, my mom is not a fan of bullying, and she just didn't want me to get into a situation like, one, you can't bully me. Like, and I don't want to say it like that because, like, of course, yeah. But, again, they wasn't going to bully me. But my mom was like, well, it's 2 against 1. And, y'all, like I said, I'm 4'11". I ain't no bigger than a minute. But I don't care about none of that. Like, I don't care about none of that. So, she's telling me all of this. Y'all, as I'm on the phone with her, the door is opening. Unlock. They walk in, right? I think I was up in the bed. Yeah, I was just, like, up in the bed. They come in. They look up, I guess. I ain't say nothing because I was taught when you walk into a room, you're supposed to be the one to speak when you walk into a room. They don't say nothing. They look, they're just like, going to do their own little thing or whatever, right? So, Monica's mom was with her. And she comes in and she's like, oh, hi, Ayanna. And I was like, oh, hi, you know, how are you? And she was like, oh, I'm fine. And her mom was a weirdo just like her. So that's probably why, that's where Monica got it from, because y'all both was weirdos, a weirdo raising one. So she was just like, oh, hi. Because my thing is, like, if you're the parent and I'm not, if your daughter couldn't come home and tell you that I did anything physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally to her, you being an adult, mind your business, stay in your lane. You get what I'm saying? Because I got a mother too. So she was just acting weird. So I just stopped my conversation. I just didn't care. I was just on my phone. Monica says like her goodbyes. So I guess her mom finished bringing in the little groceries and stuff that she got for them over the weekend and stuff. And they had like groceries. I don't know where they was putting all of these damn groceries because we had a mini fridge. Like whatever. So her mom ends up leaving. It's quiet in the room. Nobody's saying nothing. And then here's when things get crazy, y'all. Lorax decides that she has to print out that paper. My time to shine. So she goes, and my thing is the audacity to think that you about to sit at your desk, open up your laptop, and use my printer when you walked into this room and didn't say nothing to me, when you've been posting and subbing me all weekend, when you've been ignoring me all weekend, when you've been acting fake tough all weekend. Okay, keep that same energy. Why would you think you so bold to sit down and use my shit like it was our printer? It was never our printer. Yeah. So I don't know if Monica had peeped that the TV was going, but I could see, like, you know how, like I said, she was up in her bed and I could just look straight across because our beds was the same, like, height. So I could see her looking, and she, like, looked up and she was like, and y'all know how it would be when somebody peeps something and you texting your friend or something. So I peeped and I was just like, again, Bad Girls Club, what you gonna do? Because now I want to see something, because y'all did all of this like we don't live in like a fucking box. So she's like, Lorax, I guess, gets the text. I don't know what happens with that, but she goes to use the printer, and I'm just like, are you dumb? Is it crack? Like, I don't know. So she's like, trying to use the printer or whatever, and it's not working. It says a password is required, but she's not woman enough to sit there and ask, like, oh, Ayanna, what's going on? Because you already shot yourself in the foot, mama. You already decided that you didn't have nothing to say to me, so yeah, don't have nothing to say to me. So she's trying to use it. It says passcode required, passcode required. I'm looking down at her laptop, y'all, just like, password required, password required. So she now is like getting irritated. So she gets my printer and gets the cord and just try to plug it in. And I know y'all probably like, oh, Ayanna, you should have said something. That she all doing it. No, because I wanted her to try every single avenue and get more and more frustrated, because no matter what you do, you can't do nothing. Now, if you try to sit there and break my printer, I'm the way I'm going to be damn near breaking ankle how fast I'm going to get off this damn bunk bed. So passcode required, passcode required. She hooks it up with the cord, like I told y'all, into the computer. She's trying to do it. Password required, right? So she's just like, oh my God, like the petty shit. I still ain't saying nothing, because my name is Ayanna and you know I'm right behind you. So what's the issue? So Monica speaks up, and Monica was like, oh yeah, you ain't peeped the TV was going to? Talking about me, like I'm not even in the room, right? So Lorax decides, like, she was like, wow, like that's that shit I'm talking about. And they laughing amongst each other. So at this point, I'm climbing off the bed, because I'm gonna do what my mama told me to do and stand in front of that door, because now I want to fight. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't care. I know y'all like, Ayanna, you in school, like anything could happen, I don't care. Because as far as what I'm concerned, it's two of y'all. Y'all want to try to jump me, and it's gonna be my word against y'all's, and it's two of y'all against me. You get what I'm saying? So regardless, I'm gonna stand in front of that door, and if you try to remove me from in front of that door, it's up. Like, I just didn't care no more, because yeah, I just didn't care. I was just getting more and more irritated. Like, more, like, even when I used to watch Bad Girls Club, y'all, I used to get irritated for, like, the way they used to do some of the girls in there. Like, but I used to always love the girls that held their own, like Camilla, like Megan versus Fallon, Rima, and Julie, or whatever. I like stuff like that. So, I'm slowly climbing off my little bunk bed, climbing down my ladder, right? I think I already had, like, my scarf on or whatever, just because. And I just stood down in the middle of the floor, like, by the door. So she looks at me and she was like, oh, she didn't, like I said, y'all, she didn't say weird, because that's like a common word that I use now. She didn't say weird. She was just like, you know, that's fucked up. Like, that's odd. And I was like, what's odd? She was like, why would you put a password on the printer? I said, on my printer? I said, y'all walked in here acting like, she was like, nobody got to speak to you. Nobody has to say anything to you. I said, we live together, and you walk into a room and I don't know, I was like, I don't know what I did to y'all, if anything, but if y'all got a problem, then I got a problem. So if y'all don't feel as though y'all gotta speak to me, that I don't feel as though I should allow y'all to use any of my stuff. I was like, Monica, you could call your mom and tell her to buy you a TV. Oh, don't talk about my mom. Don't talk about my mom. So I'm just looking at her like, again, so at this point, I'm backing up against the door, because my parents always taught me, you know, if somebody's trying to jump you, you back yourself up against the wall and don't let everybody all the way around you. So I would have just been fighting them both with my back against the wall, and I just didn't care no more. So she's like, don't talk about my mom. Don't talk about my mom. And now she's coming down off the bed. So I'm like, nobody's talking about your mother. I'm letting you know that you're no longer using my TV. So I suggest you go call your mother to bring you a new one. And I suggest you go call your parents to have them ship you or come down here and buy you a printer, because all of that's off. Like, all of that's shut down. So, and y'all, yeah, I forgot to mention this part in the story, because when I was telling it, I was getting so hyped back and forth. But y'all remember I told y'all about Q and Monica, how they got into it, you know, not necessarily got into it, but like she fake confronted him about, you know, her little STD. So when me and her was getting into it, you know, I'm going back and forth with them. You know, I was calling her a hoe because she tried to say that like all I cared about was being in niggas' faces. And I'm like, how I only care about being in niggas' faces when only one of us caught an STD. Yeah, that had her hot, y'all. But I had just remembered it as I was editing, so to add that part in. What's her face? Lorax. And I hope I'm not saying their names, y'all. I don't think I'm saying their names. So Lorax is like, what'd she say? She had said something slick, y'all. I just lost my train of thought. Lorax decides, like, she was like, oh, you know what? You don't need to be in this room anymore. Bad Girls Club. You don't need to be in this room anymore. So she starts trying to make her way over to the drawer where I have all my stuff at, right? So she starts opening my drawer and trying to, like, take my shit out or whatever and put it on the, like, throwing it and putting it on my desk, like, throwing it in my desk chair. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, because at this point, y'all, I just want to fight. I'm not going to go over there and put my hands on you and then I'm the one that gets in trouble. So you want to throw clothes and stuff, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I will go over there and break your laptop. I'm not about to play with you. Like, do what you got to do. She realized, I guess, that that's not getting, like, a rise out of me. I'm just standing there, like, y'all, just ready, like, hoodie on, a scarf, and I'm just like, what's up? I just really don't care no more. And then it's like, once I knew I got off the phone with my mom, and my mom's attitude was like, get him. Like, you not going to get, like, I ain't going to say nothing until you get him. That's all I need. That's all I need is my mom's green light, for real. So, at this point, we going back and forth, and I'm like, girl, you need to stop touching my shit, because if you keep touching my shit, I'm going to touch you. She's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So now they're trying to walk up on me at the door. But y'all, my stupid ass did not lock our door. So I guess the yelling got louder and louder and louder. Our RA comes knocking on the door. I'm not opening the door. I'm acting like I don't hear it or whatever, right? So they're like, Ayanna, get from in front of the door. Get from in front of the door. Somebody's knocking on the door. I'm like, no. Like, if you want me to get from in front of the door, if you want me to get from in front of the door, move me from in front of the door. Oh, you're being petty. You always, she's like, you just want somebody to try to fight you. You just want, she's like, oh, that's what I mean. That ghetto shit. My thing is like, y'all, and I feel like when she said that, that's what clicked in my mind. It was like, that's why we don't really get along, like, because she grew up in North Jersey in like a predominantly white area, and shorty Monica grew up in South Jersey in like a predominantly white area. Not saying that that means anything. I grew up mainly being a suburb baby, but I was very well balanced and well versed in both sides. Like, you know, I never would look down at somebody like, you live in a hood, you live in the projects, I'm too important. So, like, that's never been my thing. But they always look down at stuff. Like, always, but for y'all to always want to use somebody else's stuff and y'all looking down at somebody is crazy. They would look down at some of the girls in there like, oh yeah, like, she's this or she's that, like she needs to do something with her hair or and like, why would her mom send her? They will always look down their nose at somebody, and I was like, that's why they were like super close. And I'm ghetto, that ghetto shit, are you crazy? So I'm like, okay, if I'm so ghetto, move my ghetto ass from in front of this door. And next thing you know, she was like, I'm not gonna move you, I'm not gonna touch you, you're doing too much, but I guarantee you one thing, you're gonna be out of this room. I said, I hope I'm out of this room, Bookie. Like, what do you mean? So now at this point, the RA is like pushing open the door, like her and like, I don't know if it was Mary and like her roommate or some other girls on the floor, but they're opening the door. So I'm, again, y'all, only but so big, they move me from in front of the door. She comes in, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, no, because they got me. I'm going off, and they're like, no, she needs to go, blah, 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 blah. She's being petty, da, da, da. I was like, they're mad because I took my little TV away. Now they can't watch their bum-ass Disney movies, so now they getting mad. They getting more and more irritated. And Lorax, y'all, she was light-skinned. She was turning red as hell. Like, she was angry, but my thing is, don't get so angry and so hyped up when you should have moved me from in front of the store if you had a problem. If you really was feeling that froggy, you should have let, because clearly y'all walked in here with all the animosity and all the smoke, so what's the problem? So the RA is like, oh, Ayanna, come on, like, you know, what's the issue, da da da, like, I just want to get you out of here, blah blah blah, because I guess it was like just me and them, whatever. I don't know if it was for my safety, their safety, whatever. So she was like, okay, well, you gotta come into my room. So I go into her room, we talking. She calls campus security, I guess, because she was like, I don't want you going back into the room. I was like, well, I'm gonna go back in the room because all my stuff is in there. She was like, no, she was like, I'm gonna have them leave or whatever. And she's like, you're gonna go to the room campus security decided that they were going to put me like across campus in like a single room, like a little single temporary room, just for like a night or two or whatever, so they could figure out the housing situation, because they didn't want the situation to escalate. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So like 15 minutes or so goes by, they leave out, me, her, and the security officer. We go in a room, they have me pack a bag, y'all. Bad Girls Club. I'm the one that some crazy shit happens to, and I'm the one that gotta go stay at the hotel. Yeah, if you know, you know. So they're like, go pack a bag. So they got me packing my little bag. So I'm packing like little stuff. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be in here for how long? So they're like, probably like 2 days. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I pack like my little shower stuff. I pack like a nice decent bag full of my stuff, you know, my laptop, you know, all my essentials. And then when I went in the room, I had like big like was it a tote? I don't think it was a tote, but it was like some type of like a tote bag. And I cleaned out all of the drawers with all my stuff in it, put it in there. And then I had just left that in Mary's room because I wasn't trudging out all the way across campus. So she was like, it's fine, you could. So none of my main stuff was in there anymore. It was like a little bit of stuff, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So y'all, I get my stuff. They walk me across campus. I'm in their room bare. But bright side is it was just me in there. And what happened? I had like a sheet. I had stuff. Like I said, I didn't have a lot, but it was a quiet room. It was just me, and I had my own bathroom. That's it. So I was cool. Boom. Fast forward, next day, like I said, all of this happened on Sunday. Fast forward, I tell my dad that night. My dad calls the school Monday morning, y'all, and he was like, you know what, I'm coming down there. We got to figure something out, because I knew it wasn't going to be a good idea for her to be living in there with, you know, 2 other girls anyway. I just knew it wasn't going to last. And like I said, y'all, it only lasted, a month and a half, because like I said, at this point, this was all like the middle of October. My dad comes down first thing Monday, and I think I didn't go to class or whatever, so I wait for him to get down there. We go to the bursar's office and student center, bursar's office, whatever, and he's talking to the counselors or whatever, and he's explaining to them the situation, and he was like, I just don't feel as though that is safe for them. I don't feel like it's safe for my daughter. You know, they're supposed to be coming here to, you know, be in school, get an education. This is not something they need to be worried about. So he was like, I want her placed somewhere else. So they're like, okay, well, where do you want her placed? Da, 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 da. He was like, how can she get a single? Like, I want her to have her own room. So they were like, oh, we commonly, you know, we don't usually do that for, you know, freshmen or whatever. Or if we do, it's going to be a tuition, you know, upcharge. So he was like, how much more? I don't remember, y'all, exactly how much they charged him. I don't think I ever knew how much they charged him extra. My dad was like, add it on to her tuition, and I'll just pay it, you know, toward it every month or whatever. He was like, but I'd rather have peace of mind, and she's happy in her own room. Y'all know my dad always comes through. I'm a daddy's girl. So he was like, just add it to her tuition, and we'll go from there. So they was like, okay, y'all. I had to stay in there. Like I said, I stayed in there that night. I stayed in that Monday night, y'all. By Tuesday, I think my dad and my mom had stayed down there, got a hotel. Tuesday came. Y'all know my dad got me a new dorm room, and I'm gonna post a picture in here, y'all. Got me a room across campus, not like where I was, but like, so where my room was with them was like mid campus. Where they had put me in temporarily for like the 2 nights was like across campus in like a little freshman dorm. Where they were putting me now was like across, like from here past where I was at, all the way across in like this nice luxury. I don't want to say luxury, but like luxury compared to what the other ones look like, what the other freshman dorms look like. And I go in there, y'all. My room was like in the tuck in the corner. It was only like 4 rooms on that floor. One girl had her own room, and the other rooms only had like 2 girls to it. This bathroom was right next to my door. 5 shower stalls, 5 toilet stalls, 4 sinks. The bathroom stayed clean. They had a maintenance man, y'all, janitor, to actually clean that bathroom. Our bathroom, janitor stuff barely cleaned it, so it was always hair in the shower, hair around the sink, blood, all types of stuff in the toilet, whatever, just nasty. This room was nice. Like I said, it was in the tuck. I had my own everything. So, yeah, so I don't even think I had saw them. Like, yeah, I don't even think I saw them. So, yeah, they had told them that they told them that I was going to be moving out. Had to do the same rigmarole again, get the security officer, walk all the way back to the room. My parents helped me go in there and pack all my stuff up again to take it across campus, and they helped me get that room set up and stuff. I was straight. Mary ended up, you know, hitting me up or whatever, and she was like, where did you go? Like, whatever happened, blah, blah. So I'm telling her everything. I had invited her and her roommate over to come see my room, and they were like, oh my God, girl, like, this is nice, like, that's crazy, like, your dad came through, like, and it's so crazy that they did all of that, and you were the one that, like, won in this situation. Like, I got my TV, I got all my stuff from her, got my printer, everything. So she was like, yeah, they really was mad saying that you were being petty over a printer. Like, they was like, oh, nobody gave a fuck about, you know, her cheap ass printer, but you was using it down though. So I'm like, they was like, yeah, nobody cared about her printer, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, like, it is what it is. So they were like, yeah, they're just happy now that they just only have like the 2 roommates. Like, it's just them 2. And I was like, they're not gonna stay there for that long. Sure enough, y'all, while only was like a week of me living in my room, bliss. And y'all, fun fact, Clingy lived in the dorm like across, like they were like twin buildings. She lived right across my courtyard in her own single. Clingy had her own single too. And that's when me and her really started getting closer because we lived on the same side of campus and stuff. So she, yeah, so like y'all, not even like a week later, I run into Mary or something like in the student center or whatever when I was with Candace. And she was like, yeah, you know, girl, they already done got a roommate. They hated the roommate, y'all. The girl apparently was just nasty, messy, would leave like pad wrappers and little stuff everywhere, like food that she like would eat or whatever. They said she would just leave crumbs and stuff everywhere. That's what y'all get, because y'all made it seem like I was just so terrible and I was so horrible. In my opinion, I was never there. Y'all, you would think y'all using my printer, y'all watching my TV. What happened that y'all decided that it was so bad that y'all just hated me for some reason? Like, I don't know. But y'all, fast forward, like I said, I don't even think I had saw them no more for like a good 2 months. Like, I just never saw them because they were always in the room. It's not like I ran into them at parties. I didn't really see them at the student center and stuff when I went. And like I said, Monica's schedule was a little bit more hectic than mine was anyway. So, yeah. Eventually, I ended up seeing them, I think, at ShopRite or Walmart or something. But it was like a weekend when my parents came down to like help me re-up on, you know, groceries and stuff. So I think I had ran into both of them. They were both at Walmart, actually. But they weren't with their parents. I think it was just them 2. And I was with my parents. And, you know, it was just like a stare down. It was just like a up and down look. And that was it. And I don't think I ever saw them again for real. Like, I don't think I ever saw them again. And then the rest of the year, spring semester, that's when I got close with Star and Blondie and everything. I had my own little friend group now, and I don't think I ever really saw them or talked to them like that and stuff again. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, that was that. I hope y'all enjoyed that story. And yeah, roommates be a lie. That's why that's also one of my favorite, y'all, story times to watch. Like I said, the date horror stories, the vacation story times, the broke friend story times, and the college roommates. Those are like my favorites. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all like this video. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, send, you know, some emails, send some stories to the email. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Hi.